Hi, I'm Daniel from Instrument Mastery, and today I'm going to share a little story about how I almost gave up and what I did to not give up and what you can do to make your practicing more fun and exciting and so you don't give up either. When I first started to take piano lessons with a piano teacher, I only trained at the lessons and not at home as I should. Um, the piano lessons is actually for only for guidance and gaining knowledge. Home is where the magic should happen, but I didn't play at home at all. Since I never managed to play at home, I quit. And as soon as I quit, I started to play piano at home. So after a while, I decided that okay, now I'm doing it consistently and I'm playing and things I'm motivated. So I started to take the lessons again. But as soon as I started to take the lessons, I stopped playing at home again. So after a while, I quit the lessons again, and suddenly I started to play at home again. After years, I realized that when I took the lessons, it got too serious. I had to train on wherever I was giving us homework before the next lesson, and my teacher was picking the songs for me. This took away the time for just having fun, explore, try new things, finding songs I liked, and gain experience by trying and failing. I was going into my own little bubble, where time just chased to exist. To explore, study, and get aha moments made it much more interesting than just being told how it works. And I had to train on that until next time. So, for example, isn't a new place much more exciting if it's the first time you see it rather than watching pictures of it in advance? So it's kind of the same thing here that you explore the road by yourself, and it's kind of like in school, for example. I'm sure you can relate to this because when I was going at school, we had about World War II. It was so boring, and I searched for things on the internet, and I could read a lot about the revolution or anything. Everything else was so much more interesting. Um, but when we had about the revolution, then I could read forever of World War II. So I, maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. It's making sense in my head at least. We're all different, and a teacher might work for you. Knowing what I know now, it might have worked for me as well. If I should take new lessons with a teacher now, I would be much more curious and active rather than being a passive receiver of information. I would utilize my teacher to explore, to ask questions, to find out what I want to learn more about, and to present for the teacher what songs I want to play or what kinds of songs I want to play, and yeah. So and for the practicing at home, I would have the highest priority to make it fun, to have free play or whatever I think is fun to do. I would prioritize that because it's much better to play something than not playing at all because you're losing motivation and the feeling you are forced to do something. So yeah, that's my advice, at least. Anyways, when I started to learn guitar, I didn't go to a guitar teacher. I explored a new world and learned myself up. Having an incredible learning curve, playing guitar was all I wanted to do all the time, and I almost took the guitar with me to bed. So, what you should do is to find your practicing routine. No matter if you have a teacher or not, you should find your way to practice instrument, whatever instrument you are playing. What I would do is, as the first thing, to warm up. Play something you already know, something you feel you can master, and play that and get into the flow. So when you're into the flow, you can continue into training on a technique or a new song that you're working on while you're having motivation and energy. When you're getting tired and lose motivation, do something fun, do some free play. It's much easier than you think, and the more you do it, the better you get. Some sour tones, it's just a really excellent reason for actually doing it. And the better you get, the more fun it is. For me, free play is to me, free play is the most relaxing, enjoyable, and fun thing I can do. It just empties my head as an excellent stress reliever. So just play and relax. Having a plan like this implements more variation and creates more positive association and experience with your playing. Never force yourself. Sometimes you'll have the energy and motivation to train at the techniques and the songs for a long time. Other times you'll quickly jump to stage 3. If so, you can extend the time for free play to fill the planned time. If you want, of course. Don't force yourself. If the session is getting shorter, it's totally fine. About time, you'll need to find out what suits you the best. Maybe your goal is 30 minutes a day as a target, but some days you just don't feel like it and just play for 15 minutes. And you don't need to lock a specific time for each of these 3 stages if you choose that model either. Just do what your mood allows you to do that day. Some days you just don't feel like playing and you just don't want to do it, but always give it a try. Often I don't feel like playing, but when I'm sitting down and getting started and getting into the flow, I forget about the time and suddenly a whole hour has passed. So always give it a try. You should get at least 30 minutes each day though, but you don't have to do all at the same time. Even just 5, 10 or 15 minutes of practice every now and then makes great progress. When splitting it up, it's much easier to find time for it as well. It's much easier to fit 5 minutes of practice into your time schedule than 30 minutes or an hour. So split it up and maybe play 10 minutes in the morning, 15 after getting home from work, and 15 minutes before going to bed, for example. It's much more realistic to be able to do it that way. If you only play when you have a whole hour for it, for example, you will often not find time to do it. And playing 15 minutes before bed is actually a very good idea because your brain is working on it the night through. So that's very beneficial. The conclusion is that you need to find a way that suits you, that makes it enjoyable and fun and also improves your skills. Never force yourself. Find a way that makes it easy for you to sit down and do your thing. And remember to spend time to research and explore. Instrument learning is so much more than just playing. As a bonus tip, I'll mention to make sure to play for others, because it boosts your motivation for training and it's much more fun to practice if you're not only are practicing for yourself. Play for friends and family, play in the church, Christmas lunch, at work, events you're at, etc. Maybe you want to join a band, for example. Use your imagination. That's it for today. Make sure to hit the subscribe button below and the little bell beside it so you get notified when there's new videos available. And it also helps the YouTube algorithm so more people can benefit from the information I'm sharing in my videos. Hit the like button for the same reason, and I will be very glad if you comment below something, for example, what you do want me to share in the next video. So have a nice day and enjoy and good luck. Be active and interact with your teacher so the lessons and homework suits you. Make time for research and theory, especially if you don't have a teacher. Use time to explore. Find the best practicing routine for you. Split the practicing into shorter sessions throughout the day to make it fit your time schedule. Don't force yourself, but always give it a try. Playing something fun when you are supposed to practice is much better than not playing at all.